Hello friends, welcome to the Python course. In the previous lectures, we have covered module 4, that is list and tuples. In this module, we will take the second part of the string manipulation, that is basic string methods, and we will look upon various string methods and split and join method. So let's begin. So I have already opened up my Anaconda navigator. Let's launch a new notebook. So let us create a new notebook with the name module 4 that is string methods. Okay. In this part, we'll cover the basic common string methods, that is dot lower, dot upper, dot capitalize, dot starts with, ends with, strip and find. And the second part includes splitting and joining. We will see split and join method. So let's start. In this screen, you could see a variable which is holding a string value, that is enter the dragon. Now we wanted to convert all the lowercase letters in a string to uppercase. That is done by using the dot upper method, right? So we have the message dot, that is a string value, that is a data type string, dot upper. Similarly, we wanted to convert all the uppercase letters in a string to lowercase. Then we have a dot lower method. If we wanted to capitalize the first letter of the string, then we have a capitalize method, right? So let's see it's working. Okay, so I create a variable named string1. So I type Python is awesome, right? And I again print the value which is contained in the string1, right? Now I wanted to convert all the letters which are present in the string to lowercase. So that could be done by using a dot lower method. Now as you can see, P of Python is in uppercase. So when I did a dot lower method, P gets converted into a lowercase. Similarly I and A also, right? So if I wanted to convert all the letters, all the characters in the string to uppercase, then there is a method called dot upper. So now you can see that all the letters has been converted into dot upper, right? So I take another string, right, in which I write Python is easy, right? So in this part, I wanted to capitalize the first character of the string. That is done by using the dot capitalize method, right? Right. So we have another method known as dot title. So in the capitalize method, only the first character is being capitalized, but rest of the word is not capitalized. For example, if I wanted to do is of I to be capitalized, easy of E to be capitalized, right? That cannot be done by using the dot capitalize method. For that we use dot title method. What it does, it is used to capitalize each and every word, right? If I wanted to see the documentation, so returns a version of the string where each word is title cased, right? So here you could check the documentation, and in the doc string it will return what functionality it will provide you, right? So this is how your methods came into picture, in which you could convert your characters into lowercase, you can convert your characters into uppercase, and if you wanted to capitalize the first letter, that you can do it by using the capitalized, or else you wanted to make each every word first letter capitalize, that you can do it by using the dot title method, right? Okay, so next method is starts with. It checks whether the string starts with a text or not. It will return true if there is a match, otherwise it will return false. For example, in this particular example, we have a string which says explicit is better than implicit. So we are trying to check whether the particular string starts with explicit. If it starts with, then it will return true. If it doesn't starts with, it will return false. However, Python is case sensitive. If you write explicit in lowercase and if you write explicit in uppercase, these two are different. So let us try it out. Now there is string 2 dot starts with, if we say Python, right? So we have string 2 in which we have value is Python is easy, and we wanted to check whether this string 2 starts with Python or not, so it will return us true value. If I change the value of Python to and capitalize the P to uppercase, it will return me false, because Python with the lowercase and Python P with the uppercase is treated as a different, right? Similarly, starts with optionally takes two arguments, one is begin and other is end. So it takes the text which is the string which needs to be checked, and begin is the optional parameter to set the start index. By default it starts from 0, and if we wanted to check in the middle or at a particular index, that we can check it by specifying the begin parameter, by specifying the index in the begin parameter. And this end is the optional parameter which is set to start the index of the matching boundary. For example, we wanted to check whether is present at the position 9 or not. So if it is present, it will return true, right? And it will, and also we wanted to check whether better is present at position 12 and it is ending at 18, right? It will return true if the matching string found, right? Else it will return as false. So it is returning as the boolean value, either true or false. So here we can do string 2 dot starts with, right? Then we can specify, let's say I specify h1, right? Then it says 0 1 2 3, right? Then it's returning as true, right? So it says, right, so in the first example I have shown you, if HON starts with 3, that is present at the index 3, it will return us true, and if it ends at position 6, then it will also return us true. That means hon is present starting at index 3 and ending at index 5. So if we write 6, so it will only count up till 5, starting from 3 ending at 5. So 6 is not included, as we have already seen in this part in slicing. So this is how your starts with works in your string methods. Similarly, we have ends with also. So if we wanted to check whether this particular string is at the end position or it ends with this text, so that will return us true or false value. Similarly, we can specify the start index and the end index, right? So this is pretty straightforward, and the only difference is that it checks at the end. So we have easy. So if we wanted to check easy, right, it will return true, and if we wanted to check this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, so it starts with 10, so it will also return true. 10 11 12 13 and it says 14, right? So this is how your ends with and starts with works in with the string. Then the next function is strip. For example, there is a message enter the dragon, and in this part we have some blank spaces, right? So the blank spaces are at the starting position as well as at the end position, right? So we wanted to strip these values, we wanted to strip the blank values, we only want the characters. So what does strip function does? It returns a copy of the string with the leading and the trailing characters removed, right? So we wanted to get rid of the blank spaces, so that can be done by using the strip function, right? For example, I take a string 3 equal to and include a space, right, and says Python is awesome, and then include another space, right? So now I print string 3. Now you can see that there is a space in front of the starting character, and at the end also there is a trailing space and a leading space, right? If we try to calculate the length of the string, so it says 24 characters, and the space is also including in these, right? If I try to say what is the length of string 2, so it is 14 characters, right? So in this part it says Python is easy, so let's take here Python is easy, so to make it consistent, so here it is Python is easy. In the length 3 string 3 it has 21 characters, and whereas it has 14 characters, right? So this character is only 14, and the rest we have the trailing spaces and the leading spaces, which constitutes the 21 characters, right? So it has 7 trailing spaces, in total 7 spaces, right? We wanted to get rid of this, so how we can do it? By using the strip function, string 3 dot strip. Now you can see that we can get rid of the spaces. If I wanted to convert this or take the length, so it says 14 characters, similar to string 2, right? So now we have removed the spaces which occurred in front of the characters and at the end of the characters. right? Okay, so strip functions also takes the parameter. For example, if you don't specify any parameter in the strip function, it will take by default and remove the spaces. If you want some specific characters to be removed from the leading and the trailing characters, right? So that could be put inside the parentheses, right? For example, I have a string 4 equal to, then I say Python is easy, right? So now I wanted to remove dash from this string, that is Python is easy. How I can do it? By using the strip function and putting dash inside it. So it will check for the dash in the string 4 and it will be removed and it will return the string without this dash, right? So this is how you can use your strip function to remove the leading and the trailing spaces, or if you want to remove some specific characters, you can put it in the parentheses and then you can remove it, right? So similarly, if we only wanted to remove the string, remove the characters, right, in the front part, that is leading characters, then we can use the lstrip method, right? And if we wanted to remove the characters on the trailing part, then we can use the rstrip method. And likewise we can also specify the special characters inside the bracket if there is a specific use case. So let us try out with these, right? In this part we have string 4, right? Now I'll do a lstrip with a dash. So let's see what it will return. So the leading dash gets removed. Similarly, if I do a rstrip, trailing gets removed, and in that spaces right, right. So you can see in the lstrip and the rstrip, in the lstrip we get the leading characters to be removed. If you specify the dash, dash will be removed. If you don't specify anything, only the white spaces will be removed, right? And in the rstrip we get the trailing character to be removed, and in this case spaces to be removed, right? So according to your use case you can choose either one of these, right? So then next method is our split function. So what does split does? Split returns a list of words of the string and input the return type is of list, right? It returns a list of words. For example, we have this string 3, that is Python is easy. First we wanted to strip it so that all the trailing and the leading characters are removed, and I put it in a variable that is string 5, right? Now string 5 gets changed or gets processed, right? Now I wanted to split it, right? So by default it is being split by space and it will be returning a list, right? So now In this part we have three words separated by a space that gets modified into a list or added into a list by a comma separated, right? So likewise we could access the 0th position or the 0th element, that is Python. First position we could access is, and second we could access it easy, right? Or you could convert into a list one, and then also you could perform the similar operations, right? So this is how you could work with your split method in case of strings. Then split takes the delimiter, right? For example, we wanted to split the words or a string by a specific character, right? If you don't specify anything, by default it takes the space, but if there is a need for a special character, right, we wanted to split it by using a dash inside it, so that could be done by using your by writing the special character or the delimiter you want it in the parenthesis or in the function arguments, right? So that could be also be done, right? For example, I have a string which says string 6 equal to python at the rate is easy, right? So string 6 dot split, how we wanted to split it, by at the rate, right? So now this string got split by using at the rate. If here dash was there, so I just wanted to I will replace it by dash, and then the output is same. So this is how your split method will work, right? Then the opposite of split is join, right? So we have a sequence of we have a list in which we have the different characters, and we wanted to join these characters, right? So we could specify here dot join and specify the iterable, right, or the stream of strings or a list part in which we wanted to join this, right? So it is being separated by a split method, and join is basically does the opposite part. We are just splitting the string into a list, and then we are converting the list back to a string, right, by using a join method, right? So let's see how it is done. So now you have a string this list 1, okay, we'll take the list 1 which is being splitted, right? Now we want to convert this list into a string in the same manner which we have originally processed it, right? So how to do it? First we write a dot join method, and then we pass the list which we wanted to do it, and then we wanted to specify, right? Here if we don't specify anything, so it will be joined, all the characters would be joined. If I put a space, then it will be joined by a space. So let's see, by not putting anything, then let's see what happens. So Python is easy, get the all the elements in the list get combined by not including any space, right? If I put a space in this part and join it in the join the all the characters or the all the values in the list, then it has been joined by using a space. If I wanted to join it by using at the rate, so that could be also be done, right? So this is how your join method works. It returns a string in which the string elements of sequence have been joined by the str separator. So this is being our separator, right? And then we can put a special character or a dash, and then likewise we could separate it out. So in the join method we could put a tuple also, we could put a list also, right? So the basic functionality remains the same. So we can convert a string of tuples by a join method and return a string, right? Okay. So now we have a problem statement, right? Given an email in a list, right? So we wanted to separate out names and emails. For example, this is ashish@gmail.com, vikas@hotmail.com, and we wanted to output the names in the names list or the name array and email in the email part, right? So we wanted to take one by one the elements inside the from the list and then process them and convert back into a list. So that is done by using a split method, right? So I want you guys to try out these programs, and then in the next session we will discuss this, right? So thank you guys, thanks for watching.